Hi, my name is Zain Al Hussain Naqvi. I'm a qualified ACCA and I work as a senior executive for the product team here at Zell Education. I'm also a visiting faculty at a lot of colleges in Mumbai teaching a variety of subjects for undergraduation. We've seen so many comments that actually talk about CPA. We've seen comments on Instagram, on YouTube, on our Facebook posts, right? We get so many calls about what is CPA, and there are so many facts out there that we see or that we hear from prospective candidates which are just simply not true. There are so many facts, there are so many myths that I'd like to call them, where students are so reluctant to pursue a CPA or even make a career decision. So today's video we're going to talk about these myths, we'll try and debunk them, and we'll also speak a few facts about CPA which will give you some clarity, which will help you make a decision for your career. First myth that we want to debunk is, do you have to be good at math to excel at CPA? Well, the answer is very plain and simple, no. Two reasons to it. Number one, think of all the maths that you've done in 10th and 12th, at least a majority of it. Derivatives, algebra, right? All of those kind of complicated maths like integration. Ask yourself, is this the math that we will do in accounts? Absolutely not. Second reason, today most accountants work on a laptop. Not most, all accountants work on a laptop. Excel, Google Sheets, Word docs. When you have computer assisted techniques, there is no need to do a manual calculation. Most calculations happen on a calculator or on your laptop. So as long as you know how to operate a laptop, as long as you know your basic math, there should be no problem for you to pursue a course, an accounting course like CPA, or even the matter of fact ACCA, CA, or any other course. So if you are afraid of math and you think CPA is filled with math, well, that's not the case. The CPA exam allows you to use a calculator. It's a computer-based exam. You can perform your calculations on the computer. There is no need of manual math. So drop your fear. If that's the only reason that's holding you back, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you out with any more such doubts. The second myth is, can I go to Canada or can I settle in Canada if I've done CPA US, and how? So this myth is actually right. Let me explain how. So let's say you want to settle in Canada. To be an accountant in Canada, you need to do Canadian CPA. Unfortunately, you cannot do Canadian CPA in India. You have to go to Canada, study there and give the exam over there. It'll take you about 2 to 3 years to finish Canadian CPA. Let me propose an alternative. How about finishing US CPA? You can finish US CPA in 1 year. You can give your exams in India, and after about a year after completing US CPA, attaining your license, you can apply for Canadian CPA through an MRA, a mutually recognition agreement between US and Canada. So Canadian CPA and US CPA simply have a tie-up, which simply says if you're a US CPA, licensed US CPA, you can become a Canadian CPA by just finishing documentation. There's not a single exam that you need to give. So your entry to Canada is fast-tracked with the help of Canadian CPA. Canadian CPA will also help you with your PR points. So if you're applying for permanent residency in Canada, there's a point system. Canadian CPA actually gives you a lot of points and actually boosts your chances of getting PR in Canada. So to summarize, US CPA basically will help you settle in Canada. There are so many questions that we receive about what are my growth opportunities before and after CPA if I want to stay in my organization. Let me tell you a true story about my colleague who was working with Deloitte. He had just completed his CA. He was working in stat audit and he was about 2.5 to 3 years in. He'd qualified as a CA and he just felt his job was very one-dimensional. He was, pursuing stat audit. He came across CPA, he completed CPA, and after finishing CPA, he took a transfer to Deloitte USI, which basically looks after all the US clients. Since he was a CPA, since he completed a CPA, he specialized in US accounting, the US accounting standards, audit procedures remain the same. So since he started specializing in US GAAP, he was shifted to USI. So very similarly, when we talk about what happens to your career after CPA, you start focusing more on international and global clients, mainly USA. Right? So if you are currently in a firm, you're looking to expand your growth, you feel your growth is too one-dimensional, have a look at CPA. Once you complete it, it gives you a global outreach. You can start working with US clients, and obviously the pay package will obviously be a little higher as compared to your current package. Number one, because you're completing a chartered accountancy of the US, so again holds great value, and number two, it gives you a different dimensional of work which you probably couldn't expect a couple of years ago. Another set of questions that we receive from students is, we're currently working professionals, how do we balance CPA and working? So before I actually get to the crux, here's one tip that I've received in my corporate career. If you are working and you want to upskill, say any course such as ACCA, CPA, CFA, or any course that you want to do, check with your HR, check with your manager if your firm is ready to sponsor at least your tuition fees or body fees. Because I know of a lot of big fours, a lot of corporates who want their employees to upskill, and they have programs and campaigns where they're willing to sponsor your education, at least part of your education. So if you're working and you want to pursue CPA or you're pursuing CPA, check with your HR, check with your manager if this course or if this campaign is available for you. Secondly, how do I work and pursue CPA? All of it comes down to discipline and a good time management system. When you're working, let's say you work 8 hours a day for about 5 days a week, that's 40 hours, right? Try and put in 1.5 hour of studying, or at least reading the concepts every day. 1 hour for 5 days is 5 hours, and on the weekends when you have a little bit of more time, put in a good 4 hours. So in a week, you're putting in 4 plus 4 plus 5, that is 13 hours of studying in a week. 13 hours of studying for 4 months comes to 52 hours, right? That's good. Close to, if you want to round it off, you can do a few hours here and there. 60 hours a month for 3 months, good enough to pass a CPA exam. This is a very simple math that you can apply if you're working. However, if you have any particular situation, let's say I work a night shift, if I work for 6 days a week, get in touch with our counselors. We'll be able to prepare a good study plan for you, ensuring that your CPA studies isn't affected by work and your work isn't affected by CPA. So is it difficult to pass the CPA exam? Let me put a number in front of you and you tell me that. CPA exams recently, over the last few years, have seen a pass rate of 50 to 60%. Compare that to a chartered accountancy in India that sees a pass rate of 10 to 12%. So every 6 candidates out of 10 that sit the CPA exam in India or in the world actually passes the exam. To clear the CPA exam, you need adequate practice from the right study provider. You need adequate hours of coaching, and you need to study by yourself as well. The combination of these will help you eventually pass the CPA exam. So these are the doubts, queries that we have received from you guys over our social media and the calls that you guys make to us. If you don't follow us on YouTube already, please do subscribe, leave a like, comment if you have any other queries. Do comment if there's any other kind of videos that you want us to do. And until next time, thank you.